Can you promote this pawn? White is winning here, but you must find the best moves, and first off, why can you not simply move your rook to the side and then promote on the very next move? Well, there's two big issues you're going to be facing in this position. The first being that black can take your pawn in a lot of cases if you ever move your rook away, and secondly, and more dangerously, black is also threatening rook a8 checkmate in a lot of cases, which is very, very difficult to stop. So first order business, we need to prevent this checkmate. So how do we actually do it? First, we can try moving your king to the side like king to f8, but this move quickly fails because then black can take your free rook on f5, at which point you just don't have a way of promoting your pawn. If you try moving your own rook to the side to try and push, then black can just take your pawn, and of course this is not winning. You can also try moving your king the other way to d8, which is trickier, because if black takes your free rook on f5 now, then you are actually winning because you have rook to f8 check, black moves their king, and then you promote your pawn, at which point you are up a queen, and black does not have a checkmate here, so you are completely winning. Yet, if black is smart, they can also try playing instead rook to a8 first as a skewer. You move your king, they capture here, at which point they take a rook, and they are stopping your pawn, so you are not winning here either. So that does not work. Back to the original position. If we can't move our king, what else can we do? Well, in basically every case here, we're going to be losing at least one of our rooks. So let's start to shift our thinking. What is the best way of sacrificing a rook? We can try rook to e5 check here, but black can just take. It doesn't help us that much, but we can also play rook to f6 check, which does help us. Why? Well, after black captures our rook, we can now move our other rook to play a check. Why is this important? Well, now our pawn is free to promote, and if black goes straight back to e6 here, while you don't want to promote just yet, because if you do, then rook to a8 is still a checkmate here, what you can play instead is rook to f6 check for a second time, because black can do two things here. They can take your rook, or they can go down to e5. If they capture, well, now you promote to a queen, and it comes with a check, and at the end of the day, you have a queen versus a rook endgame, which is completely winning for you. However, if black instead steps down to e5, you still need to be careful, because if you promote to a queen now, then black is going to be able to skewer you and end up winning your queen, at which point you still have a drawn endgame. So instead, just play rook h6, defending your pawn, and you're now about to push and promote it. Black can start playing some checks on your king, but eventually they're going to run out, at which point you can push, promote. Black is forced to